What is object-oriented programming? Is an approach where data and function are combined into a single unit known as an object. Concept of object-oriented programming. We have concept of object-oriented programming which include encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. In dealing with object-oriented programming, we deal with classes and objects. Class is a blueprint or template for creating an object, while object is an instance of a class. Here is an example of class and object. This is car class, which include car name, car color, whether it is started or not, car gear, and we have methods that operate on these variables include start, stop, change gear. And here is the instance of a car. We have instances, 3 instances, which include car 1, car 2, and car 3. These cars may have different color, different name, and whenever we call these classes, this object, we can give it different values. Let me create a class in the coding techniques package. Let Java class, let the name of the class be names. Here we have created a class names. Now let's set variables private, string, first name. Let's have another variable private string, surname. We have 2 methods, first name and surname. Let's create a method, 2 methods to set the value of private string first name and private string surname. Now let's have public void set first name. String first name, this dot first name equal to first name. Now we have created a method set first name to set the value of the first name, and now let's have another method, public void set surname, string surname, this dot surname equal to surname. Now we have 2 methods that we will set the value of the first name and the surname. Now let's have another method to print the value, public void, let the name of the method be print. This method will have no parameter. Now let's put the first name and concatenate it with the surname. Now first name, let's concatenate and have space, and here let's concatenate it with surname. That we will call this method only to print the value of the first name and the surname that we have set. This is a class names. Now here in the main class, we are going to call this class, or we are going to instantiate. Let's have name workers names equal to new. Here we create a constructor names. This class will have default constructor because we did not create any constructor inside this class. Now here we create an object. This is how we create an object. Now let's use this variable, object variable, to call the set first name and the set surname method that we define in the names class. When we have workers dot first name, let's write coding. For me here I write coding, you can write anything you like. And we use the dot operator to access the members of this class, but we cannot access the variable that we define because we set the variable to private. Now what we set surname. Now let surname be techniques. We have set two values of the method that we have. Now let's call the print method that we define in this class. Okay, now we're going to run this program. Here we set first name, surname, and we call this print method. Inside this print method we have no parameter because we did not set the parameter. That is why we did not write anything inside this print name. Now the program is running. Here we have coding techniques written in the terminal. We have space that we already write inside this method. Now here we create an object, and we can also create another object. Maybe let's write name. This will not be workers name. Let's write maybe users, name of users, here of users, and also call an object names. Here we create name of users. We can also use this object variable for the name of users to set the value. Now let's set first name. Now first name, let first name be maybe J. Let's just write J, and then let's have name of users dot surname. Let's set this surname maybe to K, and then call this method print method. Now let's print this and see what we will have. And it doesn't matter, we can set surname first or first name, it doesn't matter, but the print method will print surname, first name, and then print the second name. Here is what we have in the terminal. We can also use this to receive it from the user using scanner method. Let's write something here. Let's call scanner equal to new scanner. Now we created scanner object system.in. Here we call scanner. Now let's print enter first name. Okay, now the user will enter first name, and we will use, since that it is string, we will store it in the string. Let's have first name. Since that in this class we doesn't have first name, now let's just set the variable to first name and then call scanner this object variable that we define, and use dot. We can access the members of the scanner class. Here is the members of the scanner class. Since that we are using string, we will use next line. The first suggestions that IntelliJ provide is the next line, since that we are using string. Okay, now we will receive this value using what we have written here, and it will store the value in the first name. Okay, now let's have the same thing for the surname. Now let's write this to surname. Here we have surname. Okay, we will have string, but here let's have surname. We write surname. Okay, equal to same thing, scanner dot next line. Okay, now let's change the value that we have written here coding. Since that we will receive something from the user, we will and what we will receive will store here. Let's copy the first name and set it here, first name, and then let's copy the surname also. If we copy the surname, let's have it in this method surname. Okay, now let's print this program and see what we will have. Now we have to write it in the terminal. Okay, now it asks us to write first name, enter first name. Now let me write first name as John, and the surname, let the surname be John again. Okay, now you see it printed John. First name John, we have space that we have written inside that method, and then here we have another John written. Okay, now in the next videos we will discuss in detail on object-oriented programming concept.